21.
21-year-old.
Big 21. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Who wants to get us started? Jake, you want to start?
Hey Keaton, Jake Schwannis, DMVR. Again, congrats on the big performance, but what's it been like for you to just learn from guys like Coach Sapp, Coach Lewis, and Coach Dancy on the staff?
Man, it's been awesome just learning what they've done in the league and incorporating that with us in college and just letting us rush and giving us confidence to rush. I owe big credit to Coach Sapp, Coach DeLu, and Coach Dancy all getting me ready for this opportunity I had.
Hey, Keaton. Brian Howell from the Bowl Daily Camera. It was just a few weeks ago we were talking to some of the guys in your room about how they were playing well, but they weren't getting the sacks. Now, all of a sudden, you guys lead the Big 12 in sacks.
Right.
What do you think has changed in that room? And and it's not just one guy. It's all you guys are getting some sacks now. What's changed?
I think just being selfless, just rushing as one, like I said after the game, just rushing together. I feel like when we do that and just put away our needs and what we want, I feel like we can be unstoppable.
Keaton, Adam Worcester Tiger, 24/7 Sports. We saw Coach bring you up in front of the team after the game. You talked about your foot injury. What got you to this point? I would imagine there were some tough times along the way.
Yeah, definitely. It was just surprising just to get hurt first overall, and especially going into fall camp. Big fall camp for me since I'm a junior, but they just been considerate on my part, just letting me redshirt and playing me strategically for games. So I'm just glad I get to showcase my skills, though.
Keaton, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate that.
Mike Lamonte, I-65, mic'd up. Hey, what's your process, man? Like, what was your process going from, like, being injured to, like, your rehab, all that? I got another question for you as well.
My process was just head down and work every day, even when I wake up and don't feel like it, just make sure I get myself into that training room and rehab. Also, big thanks to AP and Kango for taking care of me and making sure I'm right and 100% healthy. And it was a long recovery, but I'm just glad I'm back now.
And what's on your playlist game day? 3 songs.
Playlist, I say I'll give you some artists. Definitely Key Glock and then NBA Youngboy. And then I definitely like to get in my gospel music like Kirk Franklin or something like that.
Keaton, Pat Graham, Associated Press again. Happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
I guess when you go up against like Shador every day in practice and Travis, how much does that prepare the defense? And what were they like in practice compared? I mean, I guess you've seen everything when you go up against them.
For me, like just when I was coming back, I started off on scout team, so that helped me a lot. Just going up against the number ones like Seaton and all the other linemen, just getting in their head, talking trash, and just doing what I do. So they made me better every day, and hopefully I did make them better.
Since you weren't playing, coming away from the Nebraska game, did you notice a shift afterwards in the coaching staff and the team? Did it serve as a wake-up call, that loss in Lincoln?
I think it did, especially just the way we played the first week. I felt like we just needed to regroup and find ourselves and find our meaning to like what we wanted our defense to be. And I feel like we're doing that right now, but we still got a lot of work to do next half of the season.
Did you notice an intensity shift in the coaching staff following that? It seemed like that was one of the points of emphasis. Did it feel like that as a player, or did it feel the same?
Yeah, it definitely did. They just placed more of an emphasis on practice, just Tuesday through Friday, just making sure we practice like it's a game, hustling to the ball, giving 100% effort. So I felt like they brought the intensity up there. Appreciate it.
You and your brother Destin came to Colorado together. Just wondering if you could talk about your relationship with him and why it was important for you guys to, take this next journey together.
Man, he's just always been my side. We've been playing football ever since 5 years old. Been on the same team since 5 years old, so that's special. He's just right there when I need him. When I was hurt, he'd support me, help me through my injury, give me the confidence just to go out there and play. And I'm just very grateful for him.
He also got 2 snaps, I believe,
Yes,
against
sir.
Arizona. Just what was it like seeing him also get in there as well?
It was awesome. I know he hasn't been in the game since his freshman year, so I'm glad he got a chance to go out there and feel what it's like to control the offense. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I also want to ask about your relationship with your brother, but like when you guys got in the portal, like whose decision was it to jump first, and how did you guys make the decision in Colorado? Is there somebody that liked it first, or did you guys both kind of collectively come to that decision?
So he jumped in first, and I think I jumped in the day after him. But after talking to schools and praying to God, I felt like Colorado was just the best fit for both of us overall. And I'm glad I'm here. I know he's glad he's here, and we just can't wait to help the team win.
Just curious, you mentioned the plan to redshirt this season. I mean, was that just like an injury thing, or does that change after a big game, or how does that kind of thought process go for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, before I played, I talked to Coach Livingston and the Coach Dancy. They all said it was smart for me to redshirt, but I also can talk to them, see what they want their plan for me to be. But I'm here any way I can help the team. So yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
What's good? What's good? Seaton, who wants to take this off? Go ahead, 5 minutes.
Hey, Jordan. Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Obviously, you've been playing some really good ball the last couple weeks. I mean, how much do you feel like your confidence is growing with each game here in your freshman season?
Confidence been starting in practice. You know, going against those guys who, you know, getting 7 sacks in a game, they really push me every single day, and I feel like I haven't faced anybody that's as good as those guys in practice.
Brian Howell from Bullet of the Camera.
It's good.
We saw a lot of guard rotation the other day. How does that affect you when there's somebody different next to you from series to series or quarter to quarter?
I don't feel like it affects me at all because I just make sure that I handle my job. I think it's actually kind of good because sometimes when guys get tired, they start to lose those techniques. They start to lose those communication skills that I value in pass pro and run games. And I feel like bringing in somebody that's keeping them fresh and keeping them ready to go, I feel like it's a good idea.
Ron Scholes from Ralphie Report. I was just curious if you could speak to how much this group has grown and improved over the last 7 games.
Yeah, every game for us has been a growing point. As far as like offensive line that I can speak of, having those tough like tribulations and trials in the beginning, I feel like that kind of made us realize that when we in practice and we have those like hard days where it's like maybe I don't want to do it, you got to do it because then in the game you have to do it or we're going to lose,
Hey, Jordan. Nikki Edwards, Hughes Sports Report. Just curious, how has this year lived up to your expectations on what you had maybe preseason?
Like my expectations? My expectations were high for me personally, so everybody said I did a good job last game. I feel like I didn't really play my best personally. I still got a lot to work on, and my expectation is ultimately the league be the first tackle off the board. So whatever comes with that, I'm gonna have to work for it. I don't really set really in-season goals, because then you get comfortable, and then there's that guy who's hungry, and then he just kills you. You know.
Hey, Jordan, Pat Graham, Associated Press. What's it like to pass block for someone who can make things happen in the pocket?
I actually like having Sador back there. He helps me. He helps me in my pass rush a lot. Sometimes you got a lot of quarterbacks who are eager to get out the pocket, which can ultimately change the rest of the defense. And I feel like he's calm, he's settled, and having a calm quarterback makes me more calm. So I feel like, it's like Mike and Ike with me and Shador. So I appreciate him. I appreciate him.
Hey, Jordan. When you came here, the team was 4-8, and a bit of a risk for you. Now, 5-2, everything's out in front of you. How would you describe the team's level of belief right now with so much possible?
The ceiling for us is so high, which kind of makes it scary to how good we could be, but could and should don't win. So I feel like once we all, like we're doing right now, as we're building and we're coming together and finding those little pieces that make a team as good as they can be. And I feel like just us every day in practice is trying to get better and accomplish what we got to do.
Hey, Jordan. Jake
What's good?
Schwantz, DMVR. What's up, man? When you committed, you said, if you're a dog, why not come to Colorado? You guys have a lot of recruiting momentum right now. What's your message to those recruits out there?
To those recruits, really, you see what happens when you believe. You really just got to believe. I took a big risk coming here. Trav took a big risk at Jackson State. I feel like no risk for no reward, So don't go where it's like, everybody goes there, everybody goes there. I feel like you should just come here, bet on yourself, and as you see, we bet on ourselves and we're starting to win some games.
Hi, Jordan. Adam Muster, Tiger 24/7 Sports. You were that five-star recruit just a year ago, getting all the pats on the back, and obviously you've had a lot of eyes on you here. What is that process like for you to keep your head down and stay humble throughout this process?
Coach Phil, he never lets me get comfortable. He always finds something that I can work on. So I feel like for that's what I most appreciated. And I think a while back I said it coming here. A lot of schools would tell me how good I was, and Coach Prime, he told me 3 things I needed to work on. So I feel like that always keep me grounded to a point where it's like you got more in you. You could do more. You could be better than what you already are.
Hey, Jordan.
What's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
Chilling, dog.
Yeah. Hey, man, so how you handle all that pressure with all those colleges coming after you? And I'm sure they offered the bag and everything else. What made you just say, like, what, I want to be here with Coach and just do something great with the rest of the group?
Well, NIL is cool, but the real money's in the league, So you can't – I'll give up whatever they're doing now for first round, 26, So, yeah, it's just everybody thinks different, Not everybody's as mature in this stage of high school football coming into college, and I feel like you just got to find what works for you, and Colorado worked for me,
Jordan, just want to ask you about your opponent this week.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's been playing some good defense. They got some good guys on the edge. What are you seeing out of them as far as the challenges they present for you guys?
They're gonna play hard, like every team plays against us. They're gonna play fast, but we also play fast and we also play hard. I feel like it's more so not about what they do, but how we do. If we, make the right push calls, block the right guys, communicate the right blitzes, and just all be on the same page, I feel like that is really what's going to ultimately come down to. And I feel like nobody could beat us if we don't beat ourselves,
Hey, Jordan, can you just talk about the development of the run game? Struggled maybe a little bit early, and then it seemed like maybe a shift, and now you guys have started to, 3 of the last 4 really gain some momentum. How does it feel on that line?
It feels good to run the ball. Passing 70 times is it's fun to watch Shador throw, but my legs do get tired sometimes, you know. But yeah, the run game's been a big emphasis this year for us. Coach Phil, Coach Pat, all the good teams, they run the ball. They're able to RPO off it. Then once they bring the box in, they put 8 in the box. Now we go head top over top with guys like Will Shepard and stuff. So I feel like opening up the run game and being more consistent with the run game will help open everything else that we have with our great OC that we got.
Follow up to that. I saw you coming off the field at UCF with Coach Lodeholt and kind of arm in arm, kind of smiling. What is your relationship with him like? I mean, this guy was a first-time offensive line coach, but it seems like you guys are really starting to build a rhythm.
Yeah, Coach Phil Lodeholt, that's my dog. He played right tackle. His background is it's pretty sick, you know. he has the cars that we want. He has the money that we all trying to get. So I feel like, me personally, I like listening to people who done it, you know. And I feel like I know that he has done it, and it's proof that he has done it. So why not just listen to him and just take his advice? You know, you can't. If it don't work, it don't work. But I'd rather try and find out, you know, myself.
Jordan, you were kind of thrown into the fire right away. I'm curious, did you ever have like a welcome to college football moment, and how much more comfortable are you now than you were 2 months ago?
I think spring game was welcome to college football moment for me. I was actually that was the most nervous I ever been. It was like, it probably wasn't even that packed. It was like probably like 35,000 people. But to me, that's the biggest crowd I ever played in. I feel like spring game was like welcome to college football. And then Nebraska was a good game, but you know, that was I don't really got no words for that game.
Jordan, you're not the only true freshman getting some run on the offense with Draylon Miller. Also, he had his first touchdown the other day. I mean, what's it like having a fellow true freshman kind of go through this that's getting some early playing time as well?
It's good. We both just get to learn together. We both get to grow together. And, you know, me and him are going to be a big special duo for the next couple of years to come here.
Hey, Jordan, Pat Graham, Associate Press again. You said Coach Prime had 3 things for you to work on. Can you share, and how you doing on those 3 things?
Oh, yeah. He said, it was a minute ago. Don't quote me on it.
Well. That's what all this is
for. Trying to, give me a second. Oh, I know one of them was core. He was like, you got a weak core. Need to get stronger in your legs. And third one, it had to do with something about like being more in shape. Because he's a tempo team, and I came in like a little bit sluggy a little bit, even though I was at IMG, but wasn't like college in shape, you know? So if I'm not mistaken, it was those 3 things. Around those 3 things. Yeah, we're doing way better on everything, especially tempo. We 100 snaps a day.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
Thank you, Lord. Students of the week, BJ Green, Creative Technology and Design, Mata, Communication. Receivers, we're one of 5 teams that has 4 receivers with a 100-yard receiving game this season, joining Miami, Penn State, Pitt, UCLA. So 4 defensive sacks. We had 7 sacks at Arizona. And have 16 sacks in the last 3 games after getting just 5 in the first 4 games. We lead the Big 12. Defensive takeaways, we force 3+ turnovers in 3 straight road games for the first time and since Moby Dick was a mental. Curtis, you said that? I can't believe you said that, Curtis. It sounded like me. Darn it. Road wins, back-to-back 27-point road wins for the first time since I had a curl. Curtis, you tripping, man. You tripping today, man. This is the first time we won 3 straight games on the road since Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was spotted. We've had 2 of the largest and 3 top 5 road wins in the last 19 years this season. Now that sounds like you. All right. This campus is unbelievable. A few of us walk around it every day, and I was just talking about how beautiful it is, and I never see them cut the grass. But the grass is always manicured. So I'm wondering, do they do that? Like, when do they do that? I'm serious. So as we were talking about that, a guy stops on his cart in front of us, gets off, shakes my hand, and he's the guy that does the grounds. As I was just saying that. So hats off to him. God bless you. I think we have one of the best landscapes and just the department that takes care of our grounds, because these grounds are impeccable, and I walk daily around this campus, and it is beautiful, and I never see one blade of grass out of just out. And I see like several lakes that I need to do a deal with a bass company so I could put some bass in the lake so I could fish, on campus, but it's flat out beautiful. I just wanted to share that moment. All right, let's get going.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? We just spoke with Jordan Seaton, and he just emulates so much maturity, and he's had such a great season so far. When you watch him and as you've seen him grow this season, what have you seen from him, and how do you feel like he's going to, build a future here at Colorado?
This is what we expected from Jordan. I don't know why you're surprised when some kids get that 5-star beside their name and they don't live up to expectations, but Jordan is a guy, when you talk to him, you do your background on him, you talk to family members, people that knew him coming up and understood what makes him who he is. He's kind of like a can't miss when you do your due diligence and your homework and you put him in the right situation, that he don't need to be great, he just needs to be him. And having veterans around him, upperclassmen, that can mold him and take him to the next level. Then having the tremendous friendship and relationship that he has with Shador, which he's invested. Like, not only do I not want to play bad and give up a sack, but I don't want them to touch my boy. That's a whole different thought process. So I'm glad and I'm thankful that he chose us. God bless his uncle, who played a vital role into helping him make that wonderful decision. But Jordan is he's exactly who we thought he would be, and then some, especially in the classroom and off the field, in his practice habits.
Hi, Coach. Adam Ulster, Tiger 24/7 Sports. Just hoping for an update on Travis and how he's doing and kind of how this week looks for him.
Travis is better than last week. I think he'll have more productivity because he's feeling much better than last week. You could just tell with his little giddy up and the way he goes about life, a little more pep in his step today. I think he did some conditioning today for sure to make sure he's on point with his conditioning, because he never tires, and we want to keep that what it is. But I think he will certainly contribute a lot more than he did a week ago because he's healthier.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwanestein.
How you doing, Jake?
Good, man. How you doing?
Excellent.
You guys have a lot of recruiting momentum right now. I'm just curious what your message is to those recruits out there.
My message don't change, regardless of your record, regardless of what you guys may think of the program. The messages don't change. we're a team full of opportunities, and when we go out and get guys from high school, we have an expectation of them to play. We really want them to play. We don't want to put them on the back burner or sit them down and put them on the bench. We want them to play so they can see that. They can see where they fit. There's a certain ratio that we want from the portal as well as from high school and so forth, that we have that balance. I can't tell you that right now because it's all how it plays out, because you're going to lose probably 2 to 3 or maybe 5 unexpected players that may jump on you in the portal. But you got to be prepared for that. So you factor that in as well. We kind of know what we're doing. I know it didn't seem like we did early on, but we've been doing this for a while, building teams ever since I was a coach in the youth level that went in and made something out of nothing in the hood in Dallas. So we kind of know how to work the landscape a little bit, and now it's coming to pass, and we're excited about it. But yes, winning does help with recruiting, the overall thought process of people joining something that's already successful. People don't want to join something that's failing. They want to join something that's successful. So with the continued success, we pray that we do a better job in recruiting as well. But you can't measure us by how many we pull out of high school. Why would you pull 30 kids out of high school when 30 kids are not going to play? I know last year we may have played arguably the most freshmen in the Big 12, but probably in the Pac-12 a year ago. And right now we've had up to 3 starters that were freshmen on the field at one time this year. So I think we do a tremendous job of getting those guys involved when they can handle the expectation.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell from Boulder Daily Camera. It seemed like just a few weeks ago we were talking about your front was on defense was playing well but not getting those sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're leading the Big 12. What has kind of flipped for that group to where they're starting to get to the quarterback now?
The practice habits, film study, preparation, them receiving the coaching that administers to them each and every day, them understanding what we want, them really just throwing their hands up and say, I give. I'm going to do it your way. Our way ain't working. I'm going to do it your way. And it's working. When you have a skilled defensive play caller, when you have 2 defensive line coaches that have come out of the NFL, and one is a Hall of Famer, when you have guys that actually want it, and they got to understand, man, let's do our jobs and they're going to come. Stop thinking about you. Resist the opportunity to become selfish and just play the scheme and watch what happens. And they understand that now. They understand it now. So you should see more. I think we missed 5 sacks last week, and we weren't proud of that. So what they're doing right now, we're not going to put baby powder on their chest and pat them down like they're babies. We're not going to do that. We expect that. We expect them to be where they are right now. We expected that several weeks ago. They just now meeting the expectation that we have for them.
Coach, Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow.
Wire. How's it going, Coach?
Good, sir.
Good. Just curious, early thoughts on Cincinnati this week?
Cincinnati is great. Cincinnati, they're playing really good football. If you match up statistically, we're kind of right there with one another. Our defense may have the edge just a little bit, but offensively, they have a lot more balance with running and passing the football. I like what they're doing. They're not flashy. It's not a sexy thing, but they get the job done. And I love the way they attack. I love the way they get to the ball. I love what they're accomplishing this season. It's a tremendous task. We cannot make mistakes, and we cannot start off slow. We got to go get them. We got to go at them. And that's what we plan on doing.
Hey, Coach. John Treach, 9 News.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about these last TV window national games where basically the entire sport watches all day and then Colorado plays, and it's a showcase, but it's also very late?
Yeah, we don't like it, but we do love it. You don't like it because of the time, but you love it because we're chosen to be on television once again. I think that's 8 consecutive weeks that we're proud that we're chosen. That once upon a time that you was begging to be on television, so we're not going to toot our nose up at being on national television. Yeah, we could argue with the time, but we're still appreciative and thankful. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I mean, you got to change the schedule. You got to prepare the kids because we practice in the morning. So now we got to do body adjustments, time adjustments, sleep adjustments for our young men so that they could start off fairly quickly. We hadn't started off quick in the night games because of that flips our whole schedule. We fared better in day games because that's who we are. But we plan on making adjustments this week to make sure we get the proper sleep, the proper rest, and we're ready and prepared for kickoff, regardless of whatever time it is.
Hey, Coach. Pat Graham,
How you
Associated
doing?
Press. Last year when you guys got for the fast start, it was, you took the world by storm and everybody was talking about you. This year, it just seems kind of more like a quieter 5-2 start. Is that by design? Are you just, it's basically we're going to show you and not talk about it?
I don't think you design yourself to be 5-2. You design yourself to be 7-0 if we're gonna design it. We're gonna order it. Like that's what we would want. No, we've earned where we are. We actually feel like we're better than where we are because we're just starting to see the fruit of the work and the understanding of the expectation that we have for ourselves. Forget what others have of us, but what we have for ourselves. And, not that I'm looking back, but dropping the last one at home was tremendous. We could be in a much better place. But we control our own destiny, and we like that. So we're going to apply pressure not only to our own team, not only to the coaches, but we're going to apply pressure to the opposing teams because we want to win out. And we cannot do that without winning Saturday.
Coach, how are you? Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. That's 3 straight road games now where you guys have played 3 of the most complete games since you've been here. Is there something about this group that likes going and playing in hostile environments?
We like to be booed and they say it and hate it. That turns us on. Turns us on. It's kind of sexy, matter of fact. That's how I felt when I played. I mean, I love to be on the road and get booed and they say it and hate it on it. I think we like being the underdogs and we like being those type of people. Not that we don't look at the betting line or whatever. Underdogs meaning on the road, away from home. But we like that. We like that. We really do.
Hey, Coach, just a couple for you today. First would be some situations have popped up over the last 3 or 4 games or so where you've been faced with 4th down decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like you were 4th and 10 at the 30. Can you kind of take us kind of behind the scenes of what your thought process is on some of those? Because some of them go against what analytics would say.
Who is the guy named Analytics?
It's statistics.
I ain't never
and
met
math.
him. I never seen him. I don't know what he looked like. Is he a winner? Is he wealthy? Is he broke? Who is he? I don't know what he looks like. It's you got to know your team. Forget analytics, man. You got to know your team and what they're capable of. Sometimes it's just self-explanatory. I wasn't a math major in college, but I was pretty smart. But I'm not going to sit there and do mathematics on the sideline. So when you see a flag on our sideline, that means we get the ball right there, Monica kick it from there. That's what that means to me. I ain't got time to be adding 40 plus 7 plus 10. I ain't got time for that, man. I ain't got time. So when we get to that, if we hadn't got to that flag, we probably going to go for it because punting, what does that do? Give you an extra 15 yards? That's stupid. Give you an extra 20 yards? That don't make sense. So especially with the quarterback we have and the offense of skill set that we have, sometimes we go for it. Sometimes, no, I don't like the momentum. I don't like the feel. I don't like the conversation I just heard. I don't like it. Let's get out of it. Let's punt the ball. And sometimes we may have a call coming in that I see we had a call last week. It was a 0 coverage, and I see our strong safety on their best receiver. Timeout. See, you guys don't hear all that and see all that stuff. Like, hey, timeout. I don't like that. I know what's about to happen right here. And, so it's a feeling, and it's on me. When we succeed, I like everyone else get the credit for it, but when we fail, I don't mind taking it because it's on me.
The other one I had for you today is you went out this offseason and hired, some new members of your coaching staff, but several of them had not technically had that job title before.
Who is that?
Robert Livingston, his
He was
first
a
time
pro.
defensive
He
coordinator.
was a pro. I think I think his pay grade, what he brought to the table, was above that job title.
That's true. But I
Right.
guess my point was just from an experience standpoint of having
From
done
experience
it
of
before.
being a pro football coach in the NFL and a college coordinator, a pro football coach and a college coordinator, not only a pro football coach, a defensive back coach of the NFL. Think about who he's coaching in the NFL, to be able to control his room, to be able to have that voice and me to talk to like a kid, like a son to me, Adam Pac-Man Jones. Tell me how he handled the room. And he validates it. Mike Zimmer and Marvin Lewis and so forth, who validated him. Shoot, that's a no-brainer, man.
I think my question was, it's not just him, right?
Right.
Phil hadn't done that before technically yet either. How have you felt this?
Who?
Coach Lodeholt.
See, the thing about it, just because they don't have the title, that don't mean they wasn't the man.
I got you. But I just meant from a title perspective alone.
I ain't with that.
Okay.
Because a lot of folks with titles in this room right now ain't doing their job. Somebody else is doing it. All right? As well as many people, right?
Yeah.
That's just how life is. The title does not constitute the job.
Sure.
So I just want you to know that in life now. So we do our homework and understand this guy may not have had the title, but he did all the work. So you got to go do a little deeper research in what we did with these young men. Even with Sapp. Sapp ain't never been no darn coach.
And so I guess
He got a gold jacket.
I guess my question was, how proud of you are of them, of the staff, of your hires, 7 games through the season?
Tremendously.
And the cohesiveness?
Tremendously. But we're not near where we want to be. Because, like I hold myself accountable for what goes wrong around here. When we're not getting the job done, a kid would only do what you allow. So when we have those positions that are not playing up to standard, that's on the coaches and that's on me. So we gotta make sure we handle that. And we got a bunch of guys that are like-minded that can handle that. And I love it. I love pro football coaches. I mean, college football coaches, I adore them. But I'm a pro guy. I like those pros. I really like those guys that came from that level because we kind of connect a little better. They kind of understand what I want, what I desire, how I think a lot better than at the collegiate level. A lot of college coaches, they're wonderful coaches. I mean, phenomenal. I can't hold some of their jocks. But some of them rely on scheme. Pros rely on man to consummate the scheme. College coaches really rely on a lot of schemes sometimes that they brought over. Let's play this scheme. No, you got to get the men to buy into what you're trying to not sell them, but place them in those responsibilities that they can handle it. And sometimes the collegiate level don't do that. They just so bent over on what they bring to the table instead of understanding you got a room full of guys that don't do that. You may need to change a little bit and allow them to be who they are.
Couple more.
Good question, though.
How's it going, Coach?
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good.
Good. Okay. Taylor Sadesky, Sports Illustrated. Just wondering if you had any more time like this late in the season just to reminisce on playing with your boys and their college career with Shiloh, Shador, Bucky, in the mix at all.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
If I start reminiscing about that, it'll start, going the other way on me. I start thinking about the end instead of thinking about we just getting started. But we talk about it some. We don't talk about it a lot. We think about it some. We don't think about it a lot. And just so happens that when Shador and I was making the walk last week, Shiloh joined in. That was the first time he ever did that. Usually he wants his individual time, his individual prayer, his individual everything. But he joined in, and then Junior was right behind us filming it, and somebody captured all 3 of us, in one setting, and it was the most beautiful thing ever. So I'm like, I gotta have that picture. That has to go up on the crib, in the crib in Texas. Like, that has to go up. So that was a beautiful moment, and we treasure those moments. We really do.
Hey, Coach, Tyler King with
How you
the
doing, Tyler?
Denver Gazette. I wanted to ask specifically about Shane Cokes. Obviously, he's a guy that has been here throughout your entire tenure here, one of the guys that you talked about very early on in the first spring you got here. How valuable has he been in just the turnaround the defense has made from last year to this year, and where you guys are at this point?
Shane is a staple. Shane is consistent. Shane is going to watch probably the most film of any defensive lineman. Shane is going to be where he's supposed to be. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He kind of corrals all the guys up front and makes sure they're doing the necessary things they need to do for us to be successful. he is who he is. What I wish, I want him to be a little more relentless, a little more like selfish, if you would ask, like a little more just go get it and just leave it everything you got out there on the field. Not that he's not, but I just want him to get a little nastier. You know, go get me a penalty every now and then. Everybody else says he might as well join it. Might as well join it.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you about Jimmy Horn. He had a huge opening night.
Right.
And since then, it's been pretty quiet by his standards. I know he's been banged up the last couple of weeks. How do you feel like he's doing physically? And, like, do you feel like he's sort of due for another Jimmy Horn type game?
Jimmy is Jimmy, man. Jimmy don't complain. Jimmy don't cry, bicker, or murmur. Jimmy ain't like that. Jimmy wants to get in what he fit in. And everybody, including scouts, know the value of Jimmy Horn. Just because he's not receiving 10 balls at a time, that does not mean he's not valuable, because a lot of digs that we're getting is because Jimmy just cleaned out the house running the 9 right up the seam to make it available for all the other guys. So Jimmy do a lot of the grunt work. We had him on a couple screens last week where we weren't successful. We missed a block here and there to get him the ball. But I promise you, he's in every game plan. We want to get him the ball. Sometimes the game plays out a little different than you really rehearsed it that it would be. But Jimmy Horn is a professional football player just playing at the collegiate level for this moment. I love everything about him. I love the way he practices. When he touches the ball on special teams, he's going to make a big play. That's why we start utilizing him on the punt return a lot more, because every team we play kicks the ball out of the dirty end zone. We got to figure out why we're not kicking the ball out of the dirty end zone. But Jimmy is phenomenal. I love everything about him. Love who he is as a man. Not drinking, not smoking. He don't party at club much. I mean, he's a good kid, and I love him to life. And I'm going to make sure he gets to the next level. Excuse me? Yeah, Jimmy's straight. Yeah.
Hey, morning, Coach. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Every morning, I gotta admit, I turn on, I go to probably your Instagram, looking for that morning motivation message. You coming back with them? Because I mean, you know, your morning motivation. I got mine. You gonna get yours? You know, the messages. I'll be looking forward to it. You gonna come back with them? Because I've been lacking.
I send a message out every morning.
Okay.
You better check your gram. I don't miss it. Monday through Friday, my message is consistent. I don't work on weekends. I'm doing something else called football coaching.
Okay. The next one.
Monday through Friday, morning messages out anywhere from 4:50 a.m. until probably 7 a.m. So it's there. Right, Neely?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Who you got for the World Series?
I don't care about no World Series. At all. God ain't forget you. The real question is, did you forget him? When you wake up, when you turn on the lights, when you run the water, when you reach in the refrigerator, when you get in your car, and before you get to wherever you're going, do you say, Lord, I thank you? Don't forget who's responsible. How can you miss that one? There you go. Yeah, that one. I think 27,000 other people got it, my brother.
Hey, Coach. Scott Proctor.
How you doing, my man?
DNVR, how you doing?
Good.
I'm doing well. Each of the top 4 running backs, I believe, have gotten a chance to start, and I think you said that that's by design. You think that's only fair.
Yes.
Is that something you expect to continue to happen,
Well,
or is that a situation
you want
that
one of them to jump out
Right.
and stand shoulders above the others. We're going to go back with the big fella again this week. The one who started last week, too. I called him 2-3. Give me a name. You know how I am. I forget everybody. I can't remember Neely's name right there. Right, Neely?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. My Naples franchise player. He hits it. He's physical. He runs downhill. He's not second guessing, trying to bounce to the outside. And at times, we need that. There's different schemes and different approaches for different teams. This team we're going to need, because they 3-man front. They may drop 8 on us, to stop the pass game. We're going to need to gash him. And the big fella, he does not hesitate. He's downhill, and he's going, and he wants it. I mean, he wants it like all the rest of them. But one has an ankle, one has a hamstring, and Charlie is Charlie, old faithful. Like the little engine that could. He just putting away. He's doing his thing. So, but Gustavs, he's going to get the start again this week.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. God bless you all. Appreciate you.
Don't care about the World